Welcome to another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Stevan Zivkov Andricin. He is working on a project to mandate the introduction of compulsory animals in modern history curriculum in schools worldwide for children's ages 12 and up. Stick around. I'd like to introduce him to you. Hi, Stevan. How are you?
Hi, Nancy. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are things in Hungary?
Well, I'm not in Hungary now. I'm in Serbia,
Okay.
near the border with Hungary, because I'm Serbian Hungarian. So I'm now in the region of Vojvodina. It's on the north of Serbia and and it's on the border with Hungary.
Okay.
It's a region. Uh, meat eating region, so I'm grow up in this region,
Okay.
with so many meters,
Can you tell me about how you came to veganism?
well, uh, that is connected with this region, when I was in my 20s. It was a longer time ago. So in this region, we have that slaughtering of the pigs at home. People doing that in the backyards, slaughtering the pig, and of course they have that pigs in the backyard, and it was at my backyard. My parents have that pigs, and when I was a young boy in my 20s, we have one that event, and but I start to think about the animals and all that things, Um, so I was alarmed about that thing, about the exploitation of animals and everything. But it's very difficult in this region, and with all these uh, people around to get through, this thing. Well, we have that slaughtering or pig slaughtering in the morning, and something. This is my Facebook, and something really strange happened. Uh, well, I have some mystical uh, event, experience. Well, when they take that pig, beautiful, a big pig, they take from that um, room to slaughter, uh, I don't know how many people are around the pig to grab and and stop. And before of that, she start to she was so noise, so, and it was so shocking to me. I was terrified, uh, and I heard her voice in my mind, on my language, and she told me, "Help me, help me." Uh, of course, they killed that pig, and I was really, really shocking. Uh, And after 2 3 days, I decided to quit with meat eating, and I became vegetarian first. You know, in that time we don't know much about veganism. You know, it was in the um, late 80s. You know, and we don't have vegans in that time, I think. You know? And I became a vegan after about 10 10 years or more. I don't remember. So that's it. That's my story.
Wow. What a story. That is unbelievable.
I have one more story about that. Something more mystical. Do we have time to tell you that?
Sure.
Okay. When I started this animal history project, you know, I had a dream, a nightmare. You know, uh, I'm going through some tunnel, you know, uh, dark tunnel, and from the tunnel they come in to me animal heads, you know, with blood. They coming from right side and the left side to me, and just pass, and they say the same thing: help me, you know. And in the end of that tunnel, I it was open space, the big open space with millions of animals, millions of animals, and they all scream the same thing. What screamed that pig? Help me! Millions of voices. It was a shocking nightmare, you know. And I, after that, decide another thing to finish this project, you know. Never stop. That's it. So
Wow. So tell me about the project that you're working on, the curriculum for schools for children ages 12 and up, about the animal modern history curriculum.
well, when I work on one documentary serial, it was a short documentary about history events, persons, and you know, uh, and I found some very interesting stories about animals in the history. You know, celebrities, and the first story was about Jumbo. Jumbo was the most popular uh, elephant in the circus, in the Barnum and Bailey circus. And I don't know, do you know about the Jumbo
No.
biography? It is amazing biography, amazing. It's something that very rare with to have people, you know. And I made that short documentary, and it's now the part of the movie, of my documentary movie, Animals of Parallel History. And I start to research more and more stories and from the history, uh, to collect photos and videos and everything. And and I start to research the whole history of the animals, modern history, you know. modern history of the animals is the most important part of the history of animal history, because everything what we doing now to animals, we started in the last three 300 years, in the last 300 years, in the modern age. And what we started, we didn't finish yet. And it's getting more and more, uh, how can I say, horrified. This is, I don't see uh, end of this thing. This is a very sad history, and it's his history of the bad man. you know. So that's it. So, and I think we must learn that in the school. We don't know nothing about that. Why we don't have that in the school? I was thinking about that. All these details and facts, what I found, what I in my research, and all these things, I didn't. We never mention in the schools. We have biology, and everything, but we never. Children or we adults, we don't know how milk dairy is coming to the table, and all these details, not to mention all that other things. So it's I don't understand why we don't have that after all that years, all these years, and why historians didn't work on that. We don't have yet. We don't have animal groups, animal history groups. It is. It is. How can I? It's unbelievable.
I think for sure it's an important part of history that should be included and that children should know
Yes.
what has happened to the animals. Have they been abused? How they got
Absolutely.
there? Especially during this time when we're trying to change that and free the animals from exploitation and suffering. So I think it's very important to make that part of the history, but to also see throughout the years, like you said, what has happened to them. And I will have information about your project on our website. I thank you so very much for taking time to be on the show. I appreciate what you're doing, and I thank you so very much.
Thank you,
Bye.
Nancy. Bye.
Thank you for joining us in another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Follow us on Facebook, check out our blog, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.